Welcome back, everybody. If you know anything about me, you know that I love a one-pot wonder. It puts me in a good mood because I hate doing dishes. That's why. I hate doing dishes. Just makes life easier. So for me, if you can do everything in one pan, I'm a happy girl. So let me tell you what we're making today. We're gonna do pork chops, but we're gonna make this mushroom, garlic, onion, fresh herb, like glaze, like a creamy sauce to go over them. So good over potatoes, so good over rice, but all in a big pan. So over here, let me show you what I'm doing. I got a good start here. I took some 1-inch thick boneless pork chops and from Pelkins, of course, smoky meat, and I hit them with a little salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And I threw a little butter and oil in a pan and just browned them up. I got like a good color on them. I would say they're about medium temperature right now, which is what I'm looking for. Now, I had butter and oil in there already, which of course you'll be able to find this recipe on our website or on our social medias, but I wanted to give those a head start. The butter and oil's been soaked up a little bit, so I'm gonna add a little more butter and a little more oil, because now we need to do our aromatics. So right now I've got some mushrooms going. Give that a little zhuzh around. All those little bits of meat on the bottom, ooh, that's gonna flavor up this sauce. Also, the reason that I dredged the pork chops after I seasoned them up, I dredged them in a little flour. And the reason I did that is that's gonna help thicken up this sauce a little bit. Some of that flour gets into that oil and butter that's gonna help us get a nice glaze. So I'm gonna get my mushrooms in here, start cooking down. And let's get an onion in here as well. But mushrooms in butter, just one of those smells in my kitchen that I love and I don't get often because my kids don't like mushrooms. There's so many things I eat here that I make here because I want to eat them because I don't get to eat them at home. So this is one of those dishes. To me, pork chops are one of those dishes I don't have a super fond memory of growing up. My mom always made them. She did a great job. You know, I think she kind of did the shake and bake, throw them on a sheet pan kind of thing. And they're always fine, but I think everybody assumes that your pork has to be cooked well done. So I grew up eating well done, chewy pork chops. Pork chops don't have a lot of fat to them. So they're a little toothsome. But as I went through culinary school, worked for some amazing chefs in California, medium temperature is where you're at. Medium, that way they remain juicy, but they're still cooked safely. It's a little bit of an old wives' tale that you have to do them well done. You certainly don't. Just making sure these are kind of sinking down in that butter. I might add a little more olive oil as well, just because those are some fat mushrooms. They might need a little bit of help. All right, I'm gonna get some onion in there as well. Let's go ahead and cut down those lines like we always talk about. Keep your fingers out of the way, quarter turn, straight down. You know the drill. When you get to the end, just turn it over and rock that knife forward. Get some nice small pieces. Easy peasy. Just keep those fingers out of the way because if you're so scared of wasting a piece of onion that you end up chopping your finger off, just waste that piece of onion. If it's too small, too scary to cut, I would rather you just waste that little piece of onion than cut your fingers off. I have not cut myself yet on this show, and I'm quite proud of it. Normally when I'm moving fast, it happens sometimes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my onions in here. I often get comments on social media that I should be using a bench scraper. I see it quite often. People have messaged me as well. There's two reasons I don't use a bench scraper when I'm cooking very often. One, I don't really have time. I move fast and I don't want to keep switching hands and utensils. And two, when you work in a professional kitchen, which I've done for 20 years, a chef would throw you out if they saw you use a bench scraper. So I'm used to using my hands and my knife. But I hear you. If at home, if using a bench scraper makes you happy, do it. I just moved too fast. I'm just moving too quick. All right, of course, we're gonna do a little garlic on the side here. Thank you, Sarah, for the for the silicone remover that I am not using, that I asked for. I swear, do you just roll your eyes when I'm not looking? Like, what am I doing here? All right, so get rid of the ends here. I'm not gonna throw them in immediately because, you know, garlic burns, so I want this to soften up a little bit. Oh. The smell in here from this is fabulous. And then also, Angie Horkin's here today, and she's doing caramelized onions, like this French onion thing, and she's got a red wine sauce, and the whole studio just smells savory and delicious. So I'm pretty excited about it. All right, give these a nice little chop. Just kind of keep moving them in the middle of your board, rock back and forth. Beautiful. I like it. All right, and then also, let's go ahead. We got some fresh thyme here. Dried thyme is totally fine. You can use dried thyme if you want to. We just happen to have some fresh thyme here, so that's what I'm using. Now that's starting to look pretty good over there. The mushrooms are releasing their liquid. That's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my garlic and thyme in there in just a moment here. Just wanna make sure I get all the big pieces off. But like I said, this is one of those recipes. Dried thyme works totally fine. Adding a little rosemary in here as well would be really good. All right, garlic and fresh thyme going in. And we're gonna make our sauce so it starts sinking down. All right, already just this mixture right here alone would be amazing on these pork chops. But let's make a sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of chicken broth. Going in. Now, hear that? Get all those bits. You know. I love a flat-ended spatula, and this is why. It covers so much real estate on the bottom. You want to scrape all that fond, F-O-N-D. Just means the yummy bits on the bottom, and that's going to enrich that chicken broth. Yum. Of course, we need to add a little bit of our stock market balsamic. This balsamic is rich, delicious. It's going to add a real depth, kind of like a soy sauce would, where it adds a real depth. I never measure. I just do this. In the recipe, I'm sure I measured. It's ready to go. And I'm also going to add a little Italian seasoning. And now we're just going to stir this up. I'm going to do a little pinch of salt right over the top, nice and high. Let's do some fresh ground pepper today. Get those bright flavors in there. All right, give that a good stir. Let it come together. Now, I cooked my pork to medium temperature, so there's no reason to add it back in and have it cook with everything. It's ready to go. So I'm gonna finish the sauce as well. But look at that, you can see the color of the mushrooms. They're still firm, but they released their liquid. Smells amazing, but we've gotta finish this with one more thing. We got our Lamers heavy cream, the best. We love our Lamers because I wanna make a nice creamy sauce for these. Now you can serve it like this. If you don't like dairy, just serve it like this. It's great. Maybe add a little more chicken broth to thin it out. But I'm gonna go in with my dairy. We'll start there, taste it, see how we feel about it. But that is so much flavor right there. This is just one of those one-pot quick dinners. I mean, look at this. This took me less than 10 minutes to put together, to put on the table, minus the 8 minutes it took to sear the pork. But when this pork is searing in the pan, you flour it, you get it in the pan, chop up your onion, chop up your mushrooms, get your thyme and your garlic ready, and that way, once they come out, this sauce comes together so quickly. I'm gonna get a spoon here so we can try it, see how we feel about it. Looks fantastic. I love that color. The more you simmer it, the thicker it's gonna get, but I don't think I want it super thick today. Okay, okay. So good, but needs a little bit of salt. That balsamic from the stock market was a little sweet, needs a little more salt, and it's gonna be perfect. Now I'm gonna nestle these right back in, just to let them get a good coat. See how thick that sauce is getting? Look at it, run that through like that, and it leaves that trail. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good sauce right there. All right. I just like to kind of get it nice and coated. Let's show you what these look like then. Fast dinner, everybody. Fast dinner. Tell me that's not quick. And taking ordinary pork chops, elevating them, it's great for company, family friendly, if your family will actually eat the mushrooms. If they do, don't email me and tell me. I'll just be jealous. I really will. Someday they'll get there. That's what everybody tells me. Someday, the blessed children will get there. I didn't eat mushrooms at their age either, so it gives me a little hope. Get a little of that mushroom glaze right over the top like that, a little sauce. Come on. That is a delicious dinner right there, everybody. I hope you make it. I hope you love it. If you do, you know nothing makes me happier than when you send me photos of the food you're making that you got from this show. It puts I'm telling you, my husband laughs at me all the time when I get a new message has come through and I made your pot pie, I made you this, I made you that. It just makes me so happy. So I hope you make this. It's delicious.